This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, I think this is a combination of page plus list. I think this is page and this is list. Okay. Anyhow, see here. You are going. This is insurance detail screen. After this, we have another screen, transaction information. I think 2 tabs are there in this, right? See, requirement is I'll be selecting the policy effective date. Okay, policy effective date. Once you choose and choose the term, expiry date should get automatically calculated. This is one requirement. Second requirement which you need to do by yourself in the first screen, customer detail screen. The moment you choose data, do you have any data birth field? Add a data birth field. Data birth field should be past date only. You choose data birth field, some date, automatically age should be calculated. For that, you just Google it. How do you calculate age based on date of birth? You will get a link for PDN. Go to that link. Straight away, you have declare expression. I mean, like one function. Okay, you can use it. So here you go. Write down business. I think I have to explain you declare expression rule, right? Let me show you declare expression rule. See here. See, under decision category, we can create a declarative rule called declare expression. Declare expression rule is used to assign value to property. If you want to assign a value to property, then what is the rule you can use? Declare expression. Other than declare expression, what are the other rules that we have used so far? For assigning value to property, what are the other rules? Assigning value to property. If you want to assign a value to property, declare expression is one rule. Just now I told. Before also we have seen other rules. What are those? Activity with property set and data transform with set. Declare expression is an alternative activity in case of property set. And what is the other rule which is also an alternate? Activity property set. What is the other rule? Alternate rule. Data transform. Data transform is an alternate to activity in only one situation, that is property set. Similarly, if you want to assign value to property, you can also use declare expression. It will ask you what is the target property. What is the target property? This is the target. Some property is a target property. So target property means left side. A is equal to B plus C. A is target property. B, C are source properties generally. So at the time of creating itself, it will ask you what is the target property. Set target property is equal to value of some properties here. Let's say for example, B plus C, 2 properties. These 2 are source properties called as source properties or input properties. This is target property. If you write a declare expression like this, it is not only sum operation, it can be multiplication, it can be division, it can be even something else. You can also use expression builder functions. Okay, so declare expression rule is used to assign value to property. Left hand side you call it as target property, right hand side are source properties. Because it is a declarative rule, right? What is the speciality of declarative rules over other rules? It will get executed automatically without the need of calling. You don't need to call it anywhere. It will get executed automatically. Without calling, how it will get executed? Based on the properties that are involved in the definition of declare expression. Use these properties anywhere throughout application, expression will run. Correct? And now, anywhere throughout application, whenever you use property either B or C, expression will run. Listen to me carefully. If you use B property, expression will run. If you use C property, expression will run. If you assign values to this, both B and C, if you set how many times expression will run? For each property, once it will run. Total how many times for B, C together will run? 2 times. 2 times. B, C. I'm not talking about target. I'm talking about only source. The default behavior of declare expression is whenever you are going to assign value to this source properties, expression will get executed automatically, not the target property. When expression executes, then target property will be set. When expression is executed, then target property will be set with a value. Everyone clear? So declare expression rule by default gets executed automatically based on the source properties. Whenever input properties change, for each property expression will run. 10 properties are there in source properties. If I assign a value to each property, overall 10 properties, how many times expression will run? 10 times it will. Understand everyone clear? So this is what about declare expression. This behavior of execution, Declared expression gets automatically executed whenever there is a change in the source property values, then that is said to be forward chaining. What do you call it? Forward chaining. Okay, I'll tell you one example. Imagine there are 5 screens. Declared expression is A is equal to B plus C. Expression is what? A is equal to B plus C is created. There are 5 screens in my flow. In first screen, I'm using BC. B property, you can enter a value. C property, you can enter a value. How many properties are there in first screen? 2 properties. Second and third screen also same. Means first screen, second screen, third screen. All 3 screens, each screen has B property, C property, you'll enter value. Okay. Fourth screen, I'm just using one property called A in a read-only mode. Means I'm displaying value. Fifth screen also A property. Everyone clear with the design? Now you tell me at first screen 1, given I enter a value for A and B and tab out, how many times expression will run? 2 times. Second screen, 2 times. Third screen, 2 times. Fourth screen, fourth screen is all run. Declare expression. Online
Only one time. Yeah, only one time.
మీకు అర్థమవుతుందా మీరు ఎలా నేర్చుకుంటున్నారో? మీ ఇమాజినేషన్ లోనే మీరు బతుకుతున్నారు. నేను చెప్పేది పెద్దగా ఏం పట్టించుకోవట్లేదు. నేను ఏం చెప్పా? డిక్లేర్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ విల్ రన్ whenever by default whenever source property changes. At fourth screen I am using A. A is source or target? Target property, did I tell you expression will run? Then at fourth screen how it will run one time? At fourth screen how many times it will get executed? 0. Flip the screen. So declare expression by default gets executed based on source properties. Then that is called as forward chaining. The mechanism is called as forward chaining. Backward chaining I'll explain. Okay, later. Everyone clear with forward chaining declare expression? So we are going to work on a business requirement right now. Working with declare expression. Working with declare expression. Working with declare expression. Enhance policy details screen as described below. Enhance policy details screen as described below. Enhance policy details screen as described below. Right now, calculate policy expiry date. Calculate policy expiry spelling wrong. Okay. Calculate policy expiry date based on policy effective date and policy term. Based on policy effective date and policy term. Spelling wrong. Based on policy effective date and policy term. Based on this, you know easily what should be the calculation? What should be the calculation for this? Policy expiry date to be calculated based on effective date and term. Cheppandi calculation enti? Policy expiry date is equal to policy effective date plus policy term. Policy effective date is date property. Date property contains day, month, year. Policy term is integer. Is it okay? This integer term we need to sum with date only for which part? Only for year part. So only for year part should be incremented. Effective date that you enter should be incremented by number of years. How many years?
3 years.
Term number of years. And the result value you should assign to expiry date. Suppose policy effective date is 19th August 2022. Effective date of policy is 19th August 2022. And for a term of 3 years, what will be the expiry date?
25.
What will be the expiry date? 19th August 2025 or 18th August 2025? ఏమైంది? Which one? మీరు ఈ రోజు తీసుకున్నారు అనుకోండి, 1 month వ్యాలిడిటీ అంటే ఈ రోజు
18th
వరకు
August 2025. 18th August.
it is 18th August 2025. Means at the time while you are calculating, when you increment years, you need to decrement the number of the day number by 1. Okay, that is also you have to do. Okay, we will work on this business requirement. Okay, what is that? Policy effective date expiry date, right? Declare expression, right? Working with declare expression. See, this is the one which we are going to use in future as a local action. Did you work on local action? No.
No.
In future, we will be using this as an optional action. Means, suppose I have selected the policy term 1 year, some effective date, and I got policy effective date. I moved on from this screen. So after you move on further to 2 more screens, is it possible to come back? Is it possible to come back? It is not possible. But suppose if you want to change the expiry date, all this effective date and all, so we need to facilitate them. That is a future requirement. We will do it. Okay, working with declare expression, right?
The document,
Is it not ours?
no, sir.
This is not our document. I'll create a document. 590.
595.
595. Inta 19th. Working with calculating policy expiry date based on effective date and term.
Etc.
Okay, so let's go ahead here. Create, declare. See, is it possible to do some operation between a date and integer? It is not possible. For this reason, we are going to use functions. So which class I need to go to? Policy class. Here you need to create declare expression. In the policy class, do you have the properties? You need to create declare expression in the data class. Wherever you use with any page, it will automatically get executed. So right click on this, create decision, declare expression. Can you tell me what is the target property? So you have 3 properties: policy effective date, term, and expiry date. Which one is target property?
Expiry date.
Expiry date. The target property, you choose it and create and open. Create and open. Here you can see set policy expiry date is equal to value of. You need to give the value. So I cannot do plus. I cannot use plus operator between a date and integer. So in order to sum this date by number of years, which is term, you have to use expression builder functions. So click on expression builder icon. Browse the functions. Which library? Datetime library. Datetime. You see here, add calendar. There is a function called add calendar. Add calendar function. You can see parameters: the date, source value, comma. First parameter, the date, whatever you are seeing there, that is the date value. That date value will be incremented by next parameter: number of years, months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, seconds. All the parameters are mandatory. Okay, we will use this function. Here you go now. What is that? So I wanted to assign policy expiry date with an incremented value for years of the property policy effective date. Policy effective date property, you choose it from the drop down. Give a dot. policy effective date, comma, how many number of years to be incremented? Policy term.
Policy
Three
term.
years.
So the value of this one will be incremented for years by policy term. Next, years, months. Any additional months? No. 0. Weeks. 0. Days. -1. Hours. Minutes. Seconds. All the parameters you must be passing. I am incrementing the policy effective date by number of years of policy term, whereas decrementing by 1 day, and this result value I am assigning to expiry date. That is the expiry date calculation. Understand everyone? Clear? Save. Create a case and test it. That's it, done. You don't need to call. Do you need to call it? Now go to policy detail screen. Just look at here. Where is it? User interface section. Let's refresh it. Refresh on change of policy effective date and term. Refresh on change of policy effective date and term. You know how to refresh, right? Now you create a case and test it. What is the screen that we need to visit? Transaction details, you know? Second screen, right? Why it is taking a little bit of time to load up? Okay, policy information, policy effective date, term of 3 years. Okay, initially itself it is calculating, we can prevent it, but not now. 5 years if I choose, it will accordingly change. Write down next business requirement. Add a new field in customer detail screen. Same, declare expression. Write down next business requirement. Same, declare expression. Modify customer detail screen. Modify customer detail screen by adding date of birth. Modify customer detail screen by adding what? Date of birth. Calculate age based on date of birth. Calculate age based on date of birth. You can do it by yourself, right? A should be read only. Next requirement, modifying customer form, adding DOB field. Calculating age. So for this also you would be using declare expression only. Okay. So here you go, date. Where do I place it? For age, right? Date of birth. I'll create a property now. What is the property? DOB. Create property. DOB. Create and open. Date only. Date. and you can do this. It should be past date, right? According to past date and is past. It must be a past date. Okay, age should be. I'm sorry. Date of birth should be past date. Go back to section. This is the section and date of birth property. And I'm going to presentation. I'll make it like a drop down list. I'll display it like drop down, and next to previous 10 years, I will go with only past 100 years. You can just play around with these options. Okay, this is how date of birth looks like. And moreover, I am going to refresh on change. Actions on change. Do what? Refresh. Make age read only. Age should be read only always. You know how to make it, right? Save, done, completed. So like this, you created date of birth property, and now create declare expression. Create declare expression. Expression ending. It's not available. Here they have, someone has given. Okay, so I'll just place it here. Okay, here you go. Create declare expression in the framework class. Right click on this, create decision declare expression. What is the target property? What is the target property? Age is the target property. What is source property? Date of birth. Set age is equal to, see here, this is the expression, but date value of date, our property is DOB, correct? This is where you view the property. So that's the only change I need to do. Save, done. It is taking the year part, and it is just, I'm sorry. So you create a declare expression rule in order to calculate age based on date of birth. Now create a case and test it. You don't need to call it anywhere. Create a case and test it. So you choose date of birth, September 9th, 1948. Is that a senior citizen? 73. You just align it right side, left side, I'm sorry, and do what? 63. This is okay. Okay, I'll just make changes. Hold on. Age, right? Where is it? Number, left side. '89 age senior citizens, right? That validation is still, it will work. This is okay. Age. Okay, like this, you can calculate age based on date of birth value. Okay, so next topic, declare on change. Next topic is next declarative rule called declare on change. So declare expression. This one is okay. Autocomplete. Good. See, once I enter agency code here, I want agency name to be pre-filled automatically. So once we enter agency code, for this agency code, what is the agency name? That should be retrieved from a table and it should be loaded here. Did we do this type of requirement before? Which one? OBJ open. Same we will do again. But here only 2 columns, agency code, agency name. We have agency's data class, correct? We will change it to a table. I think we have a table also, right? Once you enter agency code, you retrieve agency name by using OBJ open and display here in UI. That's it done. Okay. And you can do it in different ways. You can do it by using you can do it by using what is that? OBJ open, that you are aware of. You can even do it by using data page. What is the property? Agencies, right? Go to agency property. I think it is in vehicle class. Hold on. This is a vehicle class, right? Data model, property, agency details. This is the page property, correct? This page property manual as of now. I'll refer it from a data page or copy the data from a data page. I'll call a data page here. In the data page, I'll do OBJ open. I'll show you how to do it. Okay, and I'll pass the parameter. Can you tell me what is the parameter here I need to pass for data page? Agency code. Based on the agency code you pass, it will retrieve agency details and put it on this particular page. You can implement this requirement in 2 ways. One is OBJ open. Another one is by using data page and property. Okay. So there are 2 options available. Refer to a data page, copy from a data page. What are these options? In both cases, you will be calling data page. You will call data page, pass the parameter, respective data will be retrieved. See, copy from data page is very easy to understand. If I call a data page, let's say D underscore page 1, I am passing this one, agency details dot agency code I am passing. It will retrieve respective data. Now data page will have data, agency code, agency name. From the data page, data will be copied to agency details page. Understand? That is copy from data page. Whenever you are using agency code in the agency details page related property in the UI, automatically it will look at the clipboard. Data page is already there or not there. Data page is there, it will copy. Otherwise, it will load the data page and again take the data from data page onto agency details page. This is one thing. Refer to data page means whenever you use this agency details, data page will be called and data will load onto data page. But data will not be copied from data page into UI page, whatever the page. It acts as a pointer to data page. Refer to data page means it is just a pointer. Copy from data page means data will come to data page as well as this particular page also. Understand? If you read the sentences here, you will not be able to understand. Both look same actually. Okay, when data page parameter change and reference to non-parameter sentence. So when data page parameter changes, the system loads new data page, reads from and writes to the property occurs in the new data page. When data page parameter value being passed and changes, leave about non-parameter. Okay, a new data page is loaded and copied into this property. Interactions with the property happens on the copied data. Sentence, when you read this sentence, you will not be able to understand it. Not that so clear. It is very easy. You need to understand that word copy and refer. Difference enti. Refer means it acts as a pointer. Copy means it will take everything from there. Okay. And
Harshit, can you give one example for refer?
Interaction property happen on copied data. After data is being copied, on that you are going to do it. Copy from it. Refer means it will just act as a pointer to database. Okay. In the practical, you will be able to understand much better actually. So this particular requirement using declare on change we will implement. But in declare on change, how you'll implement? Okay, I'll explain about the concept of declare on change. Okay, for this you don't need declare on change. Once you enter data page will be called and it will copy the data. Okay, we'll do it the other way around.
Harsha?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I have one question, Harsha. Before you proceed, I have one question related to data
Go ahead.
transform. So, yeah, on 16th, we worked on data transform, which is related to billing address and shipping address copying.
Correct.
I have implemented the same using page copy. I mean, I tried implementing the same using page copy activity. Yeah. So in that,
Okay.
in that we have to create a page related to the pointing to the destination table.
Correct.
And the
Destination
next step,
table or destination UI.
destination table
Shipping
in the
address
sense
destination.
the data class. The next step would be based on the requirement, we do page copy and everything. But when running the case, I found that the shipping address and billing address screens are not displayed. But when I have changed the flow, in flow, when I've set the properties, then it is visible. So even activity also, I mean, even when we are creating a page, do we need to again set the properties in the flow?
See, first thing is the data page requirement which we have done by using data copy from billing to shipping. When you are doing it by using activity, you don't need to do page new or you don't need to define any pages. Not required, because already page properties are there in the work class, right? So on click of the checkbox, you will call activity. You just need to verify precondition. Checkbox selected, page copy, billing to shipping. Not selected. Next, otherwise, I mean, like the next step. In the next step, you just free up the space. I mean, like free up shipping address, meaning that checkbox is not selected. You can do this. Add 2 steps in the activity. First step itself, without validating any condition, you set all shipping address blank. Means when you select the checkbox or when you uncheck the checkbox, shipping address will become blank at the very beginning. Then in the second step, you verify condition. Checkbox is selected. Then page copy, billing address to shipping address. Suppose checkbox is not selected, skip the second step. Understand? Maybe your design is wrong. Both are same actually. Both should function the same way. You don't need to define pages and classes. You don't need don't need to do any page new and all.
Okay, no need to set the properties in flow as well.
No need to set the properties in flow. That is for display purpose. Screen is not loading. That should be there.
Okay.
We're talking about on click of checkbox, you are copying the data, right? That is important.
Okay.
Is that what you are asking?
Yes, sir.
Try this way, only add 2 steps. Okay, this
sure.
requirement anyhow I told you. You can implement it by using data page and all. We will do some other requirement for the database. Maybe in future we'll see. Now, as of now, I wanted to tell you about declare on change. What is the rule? Declare on change. Otherwise, in this concept also I can use data page. There is a load data page method in the activity. I'll tell you. Look at here. Declare on change. Create, what is that? Decision category. Declare on change. By the name itself, you can easily say when this rule gets executed. When does this rule gets executed? Declare on change of a property value. It can be 1 or more properties. Property 1, property 2, property 3. It is not that all properties should change. See, if I create a declare on change rule like this, any one of the property out of this property 1, 2, 3, if you are assigning a value anywhere throughout the application, this declare on change rule will run. Okay, anywhere throughout the application, if you're going to assign a value to any of these properties, property 1, 2, 3, on change will run. It looks similar to declare expression, right? Then where is the difference? Declare expression is for assigning value to property. Declare on change is for executing activities. Whenever there is a change in the property value, I wanted to execute some business logic. Automatically it should be executed. That is the requirement. Understand? Every time, suppose, can you tell me any property that which we can track? Agency code, for example, you have chosen agency code, some agency code. On that agency you're taking the policy. You proceeded forward. So I want a business logic to be executed and send an email to agency. On your agency name, a policy has been requested. In future, if you modify the agency code, immediately I wanted to send an email to another agency saying that you are being requested for a policy from your agency, like this. For example, I can say. So one property you want to watch, one or more properties you wanted to watch throughout the application. The value of the property changes anywhere throughout the application. You wanted to execute some business logic. That is the requirement. Inside business logic, what functionality you implement depends on your business requirement. Okay. Every time when a new customer registered in our bank, we wanted to immediately trigger an email to all managers of our application, for example. Okay. And that is a different thing. I'm sorry. Anytime customer phone number changes, phone number field I want to monitor. Phone number value changes, immediately business logic should run, email should be sent to bank as well as to customer. Let's say this is where you can use declare on change like this. So a declare on change rule is going to keep track of one or more properties that you are going to make it involved in the on change rule. Whenever the value of this properties changes one or more, on change rule will immediately gets executed. When on change rule gets executed, the activities that you call here in the declare on change rule gets executed. The activities that you call in the declare on change rule gets executed with an optional when condition A is equal to B. If A is equal to B, the activity at true will get executed. If A not equal to B, then the activity at false will get executed. This condition is optional. If you don't give any condition, always true activity will get executed. And one more point is the activity that you wanted to call in declare on change rule must be of type on change. Must be of type on change. Otherwise, it will not come in the drop down there. Okay, everyone clear? There is nothing much to tell you about declare on change. It is very simple. Declare on change, declarative rule is automatic execution based on properties. Okay, what properties that you mentioned in the declare on change rule? The properties you mentioned in declare on change rule, anywhere throughout the application, if the value changes, on change rule will get executed. Inside on change rule, you will have activities called according to your business requirement. Those activities will run. So you want to track a property. Whenever this property value changes, you want to execute activities. That is the requirement. Then you create which rule? Declare on change. Then you are going to create declare on change rule. So based on this, we are going to work on one business requirement. Everyone clear? Write on business requirement. Enhance agency details screen. Enhance agency details screen. As described below. Write down next point. Look at here on the screen. Write down this. Auto prefill agency name. Auto prefill agency name. Auto prefill agency name based on agency code value. Auto prefill agency name based on agency code value. Okay. Agency codes and names are there in agencies table. Agency codes and names are present in which table? Agencies table. Agency codes and names are present in agencies table. This is the requirement. So to implement this requirement, we are going to use declare on. It is not only in this script. In future, anywhere else, if you modify agency code, immediately agency name should be preferred. This is I'll show you how to implement it. Okay. You know how to retrieve the data from a table based on key property, right? Which method you use? What is the method you will be using?
VJ open by handle.
You know OBJ open. See, this requirement can be done in multiple ways actually. Can be done by using data page. Refer to data page like that. It can be done by using declare on change activity through data page again. It can be done. Even there are other concepts. One requirement can be done in different ways in Pega. Anyhow, working with what? Declare on change. We will try to learn different possible ways. Every time not the same. Okay. Create a data page to fetch agency details based on agency name. I'm sorry, based on agency name. I'm sorry, based on agency code. See, when you create agency data type, you already have it, right? It has already created a data page. Data page d_agency. See here, parameter tab, agency code, lookup option. What is the option? Lookup. It will fetch agency code. So based on agent, if you are going to run this data page, sorry, hold on. Actions and then run 1500 and then run. Data page will have the data. Agency code, agency name. From this you can take it to anywhere else. Understand? So this is already created, but let's create from the scratch. Okay, we'll create from the scratch. Let me create one by ourselves. Create data model, data page, page structure or list structure. How many records you are retrieving? How many records you are getting? One or more?
Only one. One.
Only one. So what is the
Page.
structure?
Page.
Page structure. Page structure, everything else is okay. Parameters tab. What is the parameter I have to define? Agency code. Agency code as a parameter I have defined. And definition tab. What is the option? Single record if you want to fetch, lookup. What is the option? Lookup. Lookup, and what is the lookup class? Means table class. Agency. It will ask you about parameter also. Click on parameters. You can say pass current parameter page, or you can give a value. Let's say pass current parameter page. What is there? Okay. Submit. Anytime if you are going to run this data page, you can test it up to here. Anywhere you call this data page, it is going to prompt the value 1600100 and then run this. You got value. So anywhere you call it, you will be passing the value. Okay, we'll do it. Here you go. Save cheyaleda. Data page I created, right? Okay. Next, what should I do? Create an on change activity. Create an on change activity. Look at here. In the UI, when I enter the value, it has to execute the declare on change. What is the watch property here? Which property we wanted to watch?
Agency code.
Give me a minute. Agency code property ela undo chudali kada. Live UI. What is the property? This is not agency code straightforward. Agency page. We have parent section. Look at here. This is the parent section, transaction information section. In this, you have agency details section. Agency details dot agency code. That is the property. Dot agency details dot agency code. That is the property. So let's create declare on change rule. On change activity. First, I'll create. Right click on this. Create entity. Technical activity. What is the name of the activity? Fetch or get agency details. Right? Agency details. See, in this activity, you need to do OBJ open generally. If you don't have data page, you need to do OBJ open. You know the template of OBJ open, right? The value you enter in UI, take that value and open the record and assign back to UI. You already aware of how to deal with the UI and all. First of all, I mean, like OBJ open, you are already aware of. This is an on-change activity. What is the activity? On-change activity. In this activity, I am defining a parameter. Okay, I'll define or not. I'll show you how to pass the parameter value to database. Okay, so I'm going to call the database. How do you call the database using activity? There are two ways. Property set, primary dot agency details dot agency name is equal to database kada. Value ekkada undi? Database మీద ఉంది. D underscore ఇంత పేజ్ నేమ్ ఏంటి? Get agency. Just give me a minute. ఇదే కదా. D underscore get agency dot property ఏంటి? Agency name. So if I write like this, the logic, what is the concept of database? Database is a declarative rule, right? What is the concept of declarative rules? You just use it, it will be automatically. Anywhere you define the name of the database, automatically it will be called. PRPC will look at the clipboard. If this page is already present, it will copy. Otherwise, it will go and fetch the data. But you need to pass the parameter value. You need to pass the parameter value. How to pass the parameter value for a database? How do you pass? Look at here. See here, this is the approach. If you want to pass parameter value, name of the parameter colon value. Understand? In a square brace, I'll show you. Look at here. D underscore get agency square brace. Inside that, what is the name of the parameter on database? Agency code colon. What is the value?
Primary dot agency details dot agency code.
Understand? This is how you pass the value to a database parameter. This is where you have value in the UI. Correct? Dot agency name. ఇలా ఇచ్చారనుకోండి అయిపోతుంది. కానీ మీకు ఇది అర్థం కాదు. Able to understand or not? అర్థం కాకపోతే అర్థం చేసుకోవడానికి ట్రై చేయండి. అర్థం కాలేదని వదిలేదు. In square braces, I am passing a value to the parameter agency code. Where is the value? You entered in UI. The value you entered in UI is primary dot agency details dot agency code. That's it. దాని అర్థం కావడానికి ఏముంది? So ఇక్కడ వరకు up to this, it will call the database, and it will get the result onto database. The result I am fetching agency name I am assigning to UI. In single step, I have done everything. Understand? So this is how they may ask you in interviews how to okay, any error, I will define the pages. No, there's no error. Okay, so how to pass parameter value to database? How do you pass it? You need to define it in the, whenever you're calling database, you need to use square braces, parameter name colon value. If it is hard coded value, give it in double quotes. If it is a property, page dot property. That's it. Okay, when this activity gets executed, it will first retrieve the data onto database, and from database it is assigning to UI. Okay, now create a declare on change rule. This part I have never taught to any other batch so far this way. So I used to teach by OBJ opening. What is it? Create decision, declare on change. What is the name of the declare on change rule? Watch agency changes. Whenever agency code changes, automatically agency name to be prefilled, and agency details dot agency code to be watched, and activity is get agency details. So this is a declarative rule. Save, I don't need to call this declarative rule anywhere. Whenever you assign a value to agency code, when the value of agency code changes, automatically this declarative rule will run. When this declarative rule gets executed, it will call the activity. The activity is going to call data page and retrieve the data to be assigned to the UI. Okay. Now open agency details section. Open agency details section. Refresh on change of agency code. Refresh on change of agency code. Where is agency details section? Let me close this. Here you go. This is the agency details section. Check out. You know how to do refresh on change of page. On change of page. On change, refresh. Create a case and restrict. So this requirement can be implemented by writing activity the way I have shown, or you can use OBJ open and a regular process you can do. Okay. Any of the approach is your wish, but what is the advantage of this approach? I'll tell you. Hold on. So next screen, right? This is where you are. Agency code 1500100. You got agency name. How? Let me trace it. Tracer, settings, activity, data page. Where is data page? Data page. And what else? Declare on change. Correct. Declare on change. Okay. 1600100. Tracer. See, data page got executed or not? Data page got executed. You can see on the tracer, declare on change is also forward chaining. Forward chaining began, activity, declare on change rule activity executed. In the activity or calling data page load begin, and finally the value from data page is being set to UI. And go to clipboard. This is the thread level, right? I created data pages, thread level. You see how the parameter value is getting passed. This is what I have told you. This is for the first time when I process. This is the second time. What is that? Imagine this is created at node level. For example, what is the advantage? You know, every time when someone else is also searching for agency code, it will not run data page every time. If it is node level, once if you one person has searched, for other people agency details will be available if they are searching for the same. Understand? That's how it is advantage. And this is how you'll pass the value. The value are passed in square brace. Parameter name colon value. In my case, it is page.property. At runtime, actual value will be passed. Understand? So this is how you can work on. In the heading, you can mention. What did you mention the heading? Working with declare on change, comma. Using a data page in an activity. Working with declare on change, comma. Working with activity. Working with declare on change, comma. Calling data page from activity. Calling data page or calling parameterized data page. Calling parameterized data page from activity. How do you call data page in data transform? See, anywhere if you want to call data page, you don't need to do anything. You just need to mention the name of the data page. That's it. It will be called. How to call data page anywhere? You just mention the name of the data page. That's it. Now we just mentioned the name of the data page. It has called. Okay. So this is what we have learned today. I am just making the requirements more complex while teaching for your batch, because you will be learning little more. Same requirement, once after you do this, implement this requirement by using OBJ open. Comment that step and implement by using OBJ open. Again, you'll get a practice of OBJ open. Okay.
One
Share
quick
the
question here, Harsha. When the
Yes,
first time the screen will load, I mean, when we be changing anything, and by default one agency code is selected. So in that
Blank.
way also this declare on change will run automatically, and provide the corresponding.
At the time of screen loading, agency code value is blank. Taking blank value also, it has executed.
Okay. Okay.
But there is no data. That page is created empty.
So
You may
so
handle
so
that if you want.
so in that way, that agency name first time will come as in blank only over there. Is that so?
Anyhow, when the screen loads, it is blank.
Okay.
590. And what is the document? Declarative rules I shared, right? In that document itself, you have declare answers. Practical. Any other topic we discussed today? Separate topic other than declare answers. All right. Anyhow, you have all theory documents you can go through. Can we create this activity and declare on change in agency data class? See, you can create this activity as well as declare on change in data class also. That is also okay. You can create anywhere. Okay, fine. You can wind up. We'll continue tomorrow.